It's Hoyt. It's Hoyt. Yeah. 66440. And you have the 13010. Okay, perfect. Oh, yeah, yep. Yep. Oh, wow, okay, cool.
Morning.
Well,
Loading in.
I'll just, yeah, if they want to call me, they can give me a call in the morning, and then I can just meet them over there, or I'll, probably go over there and get them locked early. I don't know what time they deliver, if it's 7. Do they? Okay. Okay, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, no, that's, okay, that'll be fine. I'll just go over there early in the morning, get it unlocked, and then check in later. Well, feel free to leave them myself. Perfect, sounds good. Yeah, that'd be great, yeah. Okay. Because I'm up. Yeah, and that's fine. I'm usually up at 5 anyway, so it's all good. Thanks, Dave. Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye. I'm Mark.
How are you doing?
Great.
You're right. Survived Friday night.
Oh, yeah. But I'm always ready to sit down when it's finished.
They said we served more people, but came up with a little bit less money,
Right.
which is still good.
That's
It's
right.
that much less.
Yeah. And actually, the work's always done by the time I get there, so. Cleaning up and stuff's not
Oh, yeah.
hard work at all.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
All right, you guys are very quiet. Well behaved.
Always.
Always.
Working
I
all
was
right.
gonna agree with you.
I'm always well behaved.
Yeah. He doesn't have his cookie duster anymore.
I know. Not the way he barbecue.
Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna shave last week and then ride in this morning. I'm damn glad I didn't.
So it just gets warmer as it goes on.
Yeah,
It
we
stays,
both.
and stays that way. I'm gonna go upstairs for a minute, Lisa wants to see me, so.
Okay.
First.
I read your ROW, that right away. Very well written. I really appreciate the timeline. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, a bit involved, but I think you have to understand timeline, understand what's going on.
Sure. No, I thought, oh, really good.
a good weekend?
Oh, yeah. Uneventful. Got to play grandpa.
Same here, went to Wichita for a dance competition.
It's cold for you too.
Yeah, there's children.
So were you at a conference last week?
Sanborn Institute, yeah, schooling.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty good.
Was it?
It was long. Started at 7 and going till about 5, like 3.
Oh, wow. And so it's a lot of clerks from across the state?
We got like 28 members this year.
Oh, wow.
It was nice to be home.
We were meeting with David Cooper today.
Can I 14?
Oh, is
Yes.
it not until 14? Oh. Okay. Was the KC conference, or the water conference last week?
No, the week before.
Week before, did you go down to that?
Yeah,
How was it?
that was pretty good. I mean, I think they had, it was a little bit of trouble because they had it at Century Two, and they have a hotel next door to it that they take over basically, but they didn't let them this time, so we were really, we kind of jammed in different rooms and,
Oh, my.
I mean, the, you know, the shows and everything on the floor were all the usual way. It was just kind of one of those things where some of the rooms were
Right.
Morning.
not as
Morning.
nice. I thought it went well.
Good. Were you a presenter or just a trainer?
I kind of helped run the attorney's forum for that
That's cool.
with Gary Hansen.
Yeah.
So we kind of, I had a presentation in that one. It was about open meetings and the First Amendment.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do we not have a copy of these for everybody in the county, or is it separate?
No, you reach out.
Really?
Everyone has to, because somebody might go with Logan's and they might go with Toshiba. Most of us have been going with Toshiba.
Hers is still clothing. Treasurer's office.
You are with Logan? I think me and Pat have Toshiba.
So can you print from your computers too?
Yes.
Would it be more cost efficient to have everybody under one contract?
Depends on what they will do.
Maybe something to look into. I mean, I would think that they would, I think it would be better off under one contract myself.
I guess you have to put out for that meeting on Wednesday night.
At 6, right?
6:30.
6. Ally, do you have that they're gonna meet Wednesday at 6:30?
No. I do now.
And this is for,
Deer Run.
thank you. Is that right? Deer Run.
Oh,
To have people-
yes, I heard, you guys have been talking about getting together with those residents, so, okay.
Not that.
What was that?
You said.
Oh. Gotta send it to the client.
All right, at 9 o'clock, call the meeting to order for pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, Amy's supposed to be here, so we're waiting on her. Get some stuff taken care of.
And there should be somebody from each household that represents Deer Run there on Tuesday night, Wednesday night. So, yeah,
That'll be good.
yeah, they all responded back to me.
That was what?
They responded back to me. I did put a thing out and asked them to respond.
Yeah.
We received 3 applications for the Vince Energy Scholarship. And if you do them all, we have them to do $500 each.
Okay.
Hi, Amy.
Hello.
Come on up.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning, guys.
Good.
Great.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. My copier lease is going to be up in May, and I'm working on a new lease for a new copier. And one of the copiers I've looked at actually has a paper folding option. And so I'm here to see what your thoughts are on the paper folder. I know we've talked about one. I know that's partly on me, but I'm kind of a hands-on person. I kind of want to see it working before I just agree to one. And so far I haven't found anybody that I deal with that will demo one for me.
Really?
The agencies I work with, they all tell me they can get me in touch with someone, but that they don't handle it. So like Logan and Century is the one that handle paper stuffers or folders. So I guess I'm here to see what your thoughts are. I have 2 bids from one company, one with a paper folder, one without, and then a second bid on just a copier that's comparable. I would get, if I did, I would like to go with Century, which would be the state contract. They have a state contract, their price is a little bit better. It's about $40 more a month if I go with the paper folding option.
And the paper folding, it folds it and puts it in an envelope?
It doesn't stuff it, but it will fold it, which will still save us quite a bit of time. I just know the other department heads didn't really seem overly interested, so I didn't know what your thoughts on it were.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I figured other departments would see some benefit in that, but up in the treasurer's office, is there not a benefit to that?
Well, but you have to watch so much. You know, so many people get so many tax statements, and this address is on this one. I don't know. I think
Yeah, if it's not beneficial to them.
you have to ask for sure, but.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've talked about it several times in department head meetings, and it just kind of seems like no one, I mean, I'm definitely interested. 800 jury summonses a month is very time consuming for us.
Yeah,
And then, you know, and the tax statements are legal size, and you have to
Right.
fold them just right to fit in the window.
right.
And sometimes you gotta have that special folder, it's not gonna be.
Right, or it's not gonna fit just right.
Okay. One thing I was curious about, which I asked Chrissy when I saw you were on there for the copier, is I guess one thing I would like to see is whether or not it would be beneficial for the courthouse to be under, or all of the county to be under one contract for the copiers, how much that would save us, you know. I think that would be a savings that, you know, we could see a whole,
If you're dealing with one.
entity rather than 2 different whatever. I think that would be beneficial. When is your contract up?
May, I don't have that date in front of me, I'm afraid, but probably, I think it's like the end-ish, maybe like the 25th, I want to say. And
Okay.
I don't want to be without a copier,
No,
that's
no,
part of
no,
my
no.
fear.
No, no,
And
I
I'm
know
already
that.
dealing with part of that. Logan, who I have my copier through now, they will not even send me pickup instructions until my last payment is made, which will not be till the 1st of May. So Century is willing to even bring me just a loaner
Loaner.
machine if
Yeah.
if they have to, if we end up going with them. I don't like the current machine. It's got like a 3 to 4 minute warm-up time, and when I'm in court and print something, it really puts us at a standstill when I'm standing in the copier waiting for it to warm up.
I understand that, yeah. And I've dealt with Century on a personal level before, and Century's a good company to go with.
Yeah, my previous job, we had the Century, and they were excellent to work with. If we had any problems, there was never a problem with them sending someone on site. I mean, I've had nothing but good luck with them.
So Christie, how would that, what are your thoughts, because you're a department head, and, I mean, who are we using now?
Well, my office, Pat Corey, and Road and Bridge have Toshiba. And I
Have
believe
what? Toshiba?
So that would be
I think
Century?
registered deeds.
That'd be Century, wouldn't it? Century used to be with Toshiba.
Who services it now? We own it,
Toshiba.
Toshiba
Yeah,
does.
I don't know that it's incorporated with Century, I have to look.
Century Systems out of Topeka used to deal strictly with Toshiba, and we had a few other odds, but that was the main one. And the reason, like I said, the reason I'm curious about that is for a cost-saving measure. I think that if everybody was under the same umbrella, and we were using one company, I think we would see greater cost savings.
Yeah, we, at my previous county, that's how it was, and then each invoice was just divvied up per department, or, came out of their budgets. or
Okay,
whatever.
See
so
a problem with that?
if, let's see,
Probably not, I don't know, I guess, I don't know.
Do you have, is your machine leased, or is it owned? And do you have a maintenance contract?
I do have a maintenance contract and it's
so
So
Christie,
straight from
could you get together with the other department heads, Road and Bridge, everybody that's got a copier here in the county, and see if it would be beneficial, when their contracts are up, see if it would be beneficial to try to jump everybody under one. Now, that's gonna be the key right there, is if we can get everybody under one, you're the first one right now, but if other contracts are coming up throughout the
We just
year,
did our contracts last year, and I think they're 5 years.
you're a 5-year contract,
3 or 5, I'll have to look.
okay?
But I
So
want to
as
say,
it would come due.
So I mean, I think that would be something that we need to look into. I think it would be beneficial for the
Ours
county.
were done at the same time as with theirs
Okay,
for weed department and road and bridge.
so you're either
We're all
at 3 or
still
5
under-
also?
We're still all under the same as what Christie's running,
Okay,
so we kind of are under one
so I think you guys are,
umbrella thing.
and I'm not sure what Kate is. Kate might have Logan.
And see, we had Logan because of the printers are all Logan. But I think we bought that one that time, I'm not sure.
well, could you, like I said, could you get together with the other department heads and talk to them and see if we can, look at coming under one umbrella? And if it works out, then we get with Century, have them come up, and we can talk to them, see if as we come out of the contracts, if we could all come under one, for a cost savings on it. I think that would be a beneficial
But
thing for the
Can
county.
we
Also-
get on a state contract with the county? We'd have to find that out.
We'd have to find that out too, yeah.
also, I'd like to know ahead of time whether there would be some cost savings. So if they could project, okay, if we were to do it right now, what would that, and we would
Right.
do all the copiers, what would that cost savings be? What would that number look like?
Yes.
Because it may not make sense. It may be the same, or maybe more, or maybe less. I don't know.
And
Right.
there, I do know that Century will help buy out leases if they're coming due. I talked to them a year ago already about this, and we just couldn't quite get there. We got down to about $1,000 that was gonna have to come out of my budget, and everyone knows my budget hasn't been there for the last 2 years, and so I just wouldn't do it. But I do know that, if you have a lease that's coming close to in a couple months somewhere across the county, they may help buy you out of it.
Okay.
But I can send you the contact I have with Century, so that you can reach out to her. So I guess my question then is, are you okay with me moving forward with this, or how do you want me to proceed?
Could we see the?
Yes, and I'm sorry, I should
No,
have
you're
brought copies for everyone. You want them?
Start here and I'll pass it down.
So the 2 Century ones, one is with the paper folder, one is without. And then this is from Logan for a paper folder, and then this, I just reached out to her this morning to make sure any copies that were over, and they're at the same cost, even on overages. So the Century contracts do have more copies per month that are allowed than the Logan. And the Rika machine is used to be Savin. It's a great machine. It's very low warm-up period. I'm familiar with it, and I think we'd be much happier with that machine.
And you know somebody that has this machine, that it works really well?
We had that machine in my prior
Is it what
job.
you had? Okay.
Yep. Yep, it was a Savage, but Rico has bought out Savage, so that's basically the comparable Savage
Yeah.
machine under the Rico name.
So if you stay under, okay, so it's got investment options, monthly investment, term 60, 140, 18, but then it's also got the 226. What's the difference
On the Century,
yeah.
so this was the one without the paper folder, and
Okay.
this is the total. So it's the 140 and the 86. So the 140 is the monthly
Oh,
investment
maintenance.
plus the copies of the maintenance agreement.
Do you go over 1,200?
A color we should not, and we should not probably, because, you
Okay.
know, we only print to that with like jury
Yeah.
questionnaires and summonses and other things, but we still have our printers on our desks.
Yeah.
And one thing that I am excited about is on those quotes, also I have asked them to include the fax option. So we will be able to get rid of our old fashioned fax machine, and therefore we would have less toner, we would be buying toner specifically for the fax machine. So that will include the fax as well.
Okay.
Do you have those on the net? Yes.
Well, I would, if you're happy with the Century, personally myself, and if nobody else is interested in the paper folder, I would suggest we let her go ahead and move forward with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then we'll talk about trying to get everybody under the same umbrella as they come out, see if we can do that, and get Century up there, see if that would be, we'll talk to them, see if that would be a cost savings, so.
okay, then my last question would be, since I think this is my first time with contracts since I've been here, is that something I can sign, the elder can sign, or do you guys sign those?
Todd will need to take a look at it.
Yeah, and then I think it's the county that signs it technically.
Okay,
And so could somebody else use it if they wanted to? I mean, like, you know, the appraiser's office sends out lots of stuff too.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that as long as somehow we can work out the
Other
number of
things
copies on the
timing.
budget, because my budget's pretty tight.
Got you, okay.
And, I wasn't fully prepared for the extra $40, however, I do believe it will be in my budget for the next year.
Gotcha.
So that would be my only concern if someone else used it.
Good question.
And honestly, I was just looking at the price of folders, inserters, and, you know, just the folder insert itself, and I think that, the extra $40 will more than cover itself for what these machines are costing, so. I think it'll be a good way to go.
Can I have a complete motion?
Yep.
Please.
And move, we go ahead and allow the court to enter into a lease agreement for our attorney being able to review the contract.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to allow the district court to enter into a lease agreement after review by the county counselor for a copier lease, copier paper folder lease. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yep, I'll email you this, Christie. Thank you. All right, thanks.
All right, Scott.
Morning, everybody.
How you doing?
All right. When we get that PO signed from last week for that truck for recycling.
Number 46,000.
46805.
Okay, it has been accomplished.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm just looking at where
That
that
is
is.
right away that needs to be signed.
And are we any closer on, or have we started reviewing the right of way?
I already did, yeah.
Okay, what's the verdict on that?
Well, I think, if I remember the question right, you wanted to see if you could get out of this part of the permit process.
Correct, having to have Scott bring it before us on a weekly
Yeah.
basis where he can approve it, and then once a month, just bring us a list of all approved, because we're not gonna sign it unless he's
approved it.
Yeah, and you're, well, I mean, I had two things. I had the permit, which I think in general, I don't think there's any issue with you guys delegating authority on that. I mean, the idea is that essentially you are an owner of the right of way in trust, that the only thing that you guys control in reality is safety, and you can do things on the roadway, but you can't just do it like a property owner because you want to. You gotta kind of have a public purpose, a safety purpose, drainage, whatever. But that's all him.
Yeah,
So in that regard, I think there shouldn't be any problem. I think just removing number 9 upon, motion to delegate. And I guess the question being whether you wanted to formalize something. And you had this other one, which was the culvert resolution, was pretty good overall, I thought. It just was obviously very narrow, as far as I could tell. It only dealt with culverts. It didn't deal with whatever else. It didn't, like under road boring, utilities, or anything like that. So this delegates the authority to you on that, but only, it seems to me, to be for those things, the culverts. It's not, the permit's broader than just this resolution.
is there a separate resolution dealing with, under road boring or anything like that?
I
That
would
might be
know.
something we need to look into, because he'd like to get more of those than, or added
I
on
still,
to
I
the
mean-
culvert.
Yeah, added on to one of those documents. Still,
Yeah.
he's gonna make a determination whether.
Sure.
I'm just thinking of whether to my mind, most of your utilities are gonna run parallel to where they do have other road crossings
Yes.
and, watering cases, so, usually they're wanting to actually make it, it's safe for them to do and they don't get in trouble, so if you guys, I'd probably rather not clog this up with another resolution that outlines everything. It seems kind of,
Yeah,
if you're comfortable with their discretion, I could probably put together just a resolution that kind of formalizes the authority transfer, which is,
I'm more than happy with that.
okay. Well, then that would be my share, is that you guys just take paragraph 9 out of it for now, and we'll get something that will formalize that delegation. It's something you can always take back if it's got a use of it. By putting all kinds of things in the right away, we should.
We don't like that.
But yeah, I figured you guys weren't probably giving them away. Okay, so that's,
so until we have that formal resolution, he'll need to bring in right of ways back to the.
I think
until that happens.
if he's got a permit like
Sure.
that that's already signed, I think today you can say, remove number 9, and delegate the authority to Scott, and it'll be formalized later in this
We
week.
want a formal
Then do we have a
motion.
formal motion on that?
I'd move that we remove line 9.
What is that resolution number?
Well, we're not gonna do a resolution.
It's not a
Well, I mean-
resolution, it's on the form.
On the form?
Yeah,
Okay.
on the motion.
Right of way
All right.
form, and give our public works director the authority to approve future right of way, being in the right of way.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to remove line 9, item 9 from the permit form for culverts in the right of way. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
You had a question last week about entrances down there on 150, where you tried to build.
Yes, I did.
Nobody's done anything there yet.
Okay.
Everything's still with the elementaries and so on.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got 2 new hires that I thought Matt was gonna have up here this morning. Did he?
I saw him go through.
Yeah,
He's upstairs, maybe?
yeah,
Okay.
in the insurance business. Truck drivers, Class A.
Cool.
And then I think we talked about Landon Mag, we took that grader operator.
Yeah, we signed that last
Yep,
week.
Yep.
So I got a question, so these are new positions, these are positions that are filled that have been,
I take that, the one we already signed, had, remember we did a few weeks
Yes.
ago. And this other one is, AJ's been running the blade since January over here in, area 6.
Okay.
And, so this is kind of a 90-day, so this will bump him up to, top of the level 2, not moving into a 3, because he's just had that experience.
Mhm.
So that's what that is.
and what about the James Knott?
He's new.
Okay.
All right.
And that's a position that's been budgeted and already waiting on?
Yes, so we're full. Good, not good. Yeah, except for, you know, her, part-time mower position we have. Everything's full at this point.
Okay.
Did our HHW conference here weeks ago, and it sounds like the state is possibly gonna make it where HHWs have to take e-cigarettes and vape pens, because they have lithium batteries in them. So there's a disposal fee there. Techniques up here, which we already use, could possibly take them. There's another county that's dealing with them right now. And it says it's costing them $1 a pen to dispose of. So. Again,
I can't imagine that people are gonna come in and say, oh, hey, I have this, I want you to recycle it.
So it's better than going in the trash.
I understand that, but
They won't
what
start
what
fires.
kind of compliance are you gonna get? I mean,
Well, I don't know. This is something new that they were just talking about here at the conference. So I guess it comes down to when people bring them in, we gotta take them.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we
I
charge
doubt,
down,
I doubt very many people will bring them in.
I doubt.
no, most of the time you see them laying broken on the street. Most of the time you see them laying broken on the street.
Shawnee County down here, the Sullivan Township has called and asked if they can either rent or borrow our culvert washer. They've got 4 or 5 pipes down there they'd like to wash out. So I just have to bring that up with you guys. If we do something, I just assume one of our operators will run it.
That's just what I was gonna say, if we do rent it to them, then it would be the cost to rent the equipment, to run the equipment, and the cost of the 2 gentlemen to run it. I don't want anybody else running it for me.
I would either.
So, that's my opinion on that.
It'd be good, their attorney's been a crabby guy.
How do you feel about just going and doing it for them, a little cross-county, working together? Thoughts?
What are we gonna get in return? I mean,
I don't know that
I
we-
understand what you're saying.
I don't know that we will today, but down the road, there
I
may be
understand
something.
what you're saying, but I still want it in our back pocket, what it cost and how much it was to do it. If we're going to do that, I have no problem with working together with
Yeah, I know.
other entities, but I do want it to be known that, you know, hey, we got this in our back pocket and it cost us $15,000 for the rent and the guys to go down there and clean the tubes, so we got that in our back pocket as a piece in the hole to play later on.
And you know how many tubes? You said 4?
He said 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I guess they're on a project, or getting ready to do a project down there.
So it's probably like 2 days' work.
Problem.
So, no, I have no problem with that, but like I say, I want the cost analysis so that we can see that, so that we can have that as an ace in the hole for later on.
All right. Well, proceed probably.
Okay.
Two bids here on our culvert pipes.
No, you do it.
You'll understand it more then.
How much has it gone up last year? You haven't seen it. What do you-
Yeah, I haven't.
Did you have the bids for the cost from last year?
I never provided any money.
Okay.
I'll get into this one, these days. Take me a minute. This one is from Contact. So, 48,127.60 for all the pipes that you asked for.
And that's bands and everything, and delivered?
I'm assuming,
Should be banned.
yeah, so.
Hey, Wellborn, out of Salina, total bid of $62,527.54.
Question, there is one of these companies, I don't remember which one, you prefer their vans or something, there's a quality difference,
Contact,
that's better quality.
better quality on the end, and the bands, Matt's just had less time putting those together.
That, knew there was something, but
Yeah.
obviously they're the low bid, I'll let you compare.
Yeah, I'm
It
curious.
should
how-
be it should be the same number of items.
72,270. Yeah, that's the same.
That's a big difference. And they deliver because we're buying semi-loads.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking $700 to $800 on difference between everything. That one there is like $3,000 difference between those. $1,000. Huh, that's interesting.
Mark,
Well,
I
I got a
don't know if
motion.
the gentleman in the back is maybe here for the bid opening, or you?
Yeah, I'm the sales rep for Contact.
For Contact, okay. I thought maybe so, and, sorry.
No, you're good. So I'd entertain a motion to accept the low bid.
Real quick too.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to, remember that head wall project I talked to you guys about a few weeks ago?
Yes.
Was through Contact. I did not have the other one bid yet at all, because it's more specific. So I would like to add this to that bid if possible, or you want me to do a
It
separate
probably have to
bid
be,
on
I think it'd have to be separate,
Separate deal.
that'd be a separate bid, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. So I would entertain a motion to accept the low bid from Contact for the tubes for the year, is that what that is?
Yeah, inventory.
Yeah,
Okay,
So,
so big project.
Second.
all right, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept the bid from Contact for the tubes and bands for the year for inventory. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, all opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The tube, I think there's a tube fund. There's
and Mark, I didn't know, maybe this guy was salesman, you have a little bit more information, I have a question about the head wall.
Yeah, the head wall, yeah, we're gonna talk about that, so. And this is for the tubes?
How many tubes is it?
Give her a copy of the,
There's a tube, bands,
Okay.
so,
Oh, I see.
Some are delivered to the shop, some are delivered to locations.
So I've got a couple questions on this, if you want to come up, maybe you can answer those.
So, real quick, Ally, just so you're, I don't know if you remember, but several years ago, as a county, we would buy 1 or 2 tubes here and there.
Yeah.
And instead, we ship,
Oh, take a
felt
seat.
like we get a better deal if we buy them in Lawrence.
More upfront, yeah,
Yeah.
and for the whole year,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Great. No, wait, so we can't have 2 of you in the room at the same time.
So I had a question on these.
Real quick,
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys know each other?
No,
Okay, Paul Flynn,
Paul, nice to meet you.
Keith
Nice to
Kelly,
meet
Lynn Gerhart, and Mark Crook.
nice to meet you. Keith, you had a question that you wanted to ask about?
Yeah, these head wall tubes, do you have some customers that have installed them and used them and then Scott could reach out to, or maybe you already know the answer to this?
Yeah, so yeah, over the years, we've sold a few to, like Ashton County,
Okay.
I think a few to Leavenworth, Brown County definitely.
It just seems like, I mean, there's a huge savings there. I mean, compared to building a bridge versus.
Oh,
Yeah.
can be, yes, I mean, it depends on the situation, you know,
Right.
very situational, but yes, can be. You know, these are frequently used and really where we kind of developed our, I don't know, I guess our engineering for it was up in Nebraska, southeast Nebraska, they use them a lot, Odo County and all around Lincoln area and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was my question, if there's some people that we can reach out to, or that Scott can reach out to and say, what's the longevity, how's this worked out, what kind of hydraulics or whatever, the flow behind it, have you used these, and did you replace bridges and go with this instead of a full-fledged bridge, that type of thing. Because if that's a possibility, I mean, we have a lot of small creeks that we have to put bridges on.
Yeah.
And this would be a huge savings to the county. So I'm excited, I guess I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, see how it works. Have you reached out to anybody?
I have not, I'm sure if he's gonna do this right or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, can.
Maybe I'll reach out to Ashton Brown, talk to them, get their take on this. And I guess that was kind of the question I was going with, have you installed any or sold any for around here, so. Okay.
That was really all I,
Yeah.
you kind of answered that question.
On the hydraulic side of it, Matt had already talked to the engineers that we use for that, to get the sizes of the tubes. So
And he was-
that's all worked out already for this project.
Yeah, cool. Okay. All right, thank you.
Good question.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, appreciate it, nice meeting you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
You can tell me what you call that,
Head wall tube.
Head wall tubes.
head wall.
You got them, Jim?
Let's look at that brochure out there. I'll show you a picture of it. They got a brochure out to show. Let's see.
Okay, did you want us to take action on that today, or did you want to talk to Ashton Brown before we do
Well, I
that?
can talk to them. I mean, to me, it's pretty,
But you've already
Seems like
talked
a
to our
good deal.
engineering, our engineers, and everything's cool with that?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What kind of cost savings are we looking at from
Well-
there to a full-blown bridge?
If you went, our last bridge we did on 254, the bridge cost was $208,000. And then our labor, we had, so we estimated around 60,000 there for digging out and backfill.
Correct.
So there you're around 270,000 versus this here, just for the head walls and the tubes was 24,922.
Correct.
Then we probably still have around 50,000 in labor.
Labor, yes.
Digging the old one out, putting the new one in.
Right. So
Okay.
you're a couple hundred thousand savings.
That's huge.
That's a huge savings. So,
Would you do me a favor as they're doing this, maybe document with some pictures?
Sure.
As they go through the process, both start through finish? I think it would be beneficial for us to see that.
So do you want to take action on that today?
I think
Okay.
that we go ahead and get it ordered.
Yeah.
I'd say go ahead and,
Okay.
if you've got all the engineering studies done, then let's go ahead and do it.
All right, I'll get you the PO signed next week.
Could we see that?
Huh?
Could I see that?
You want a motion now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and, let me take a look at this.
Okay.
Scott,
This,
And would this be coming out of the bridge fund?
well, we can either do that, or I think we still got some money in the, tube fund. I think the tube fund had like 95,000 in it.
I think I would prefer that it come out of the bridge,
I
because,
would too, since we're
because
replacing
that's
the
what
bridge.
we're replacing. And allow that to build up. You just never know on these
Right.
tubes where you may
They
end
will
up
wash
with,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had quite a bit of
or
cleanup.
one damage by the run.
We had quite a bit of cleanup, up here by Wetmore here this last week with all the rain. And
Right.
we spent a couple days up there cleaning some debris out of the creek and, doing some washout across the roads.
Okay. Are they gonna have to buy additional shoring for the wing walls, or do we have
We
that?
have that around there.
Is that, where do we purchase that from?
That's up and down there.
So we have more than that.
Yeah, but it's in before I started here.
What's the amount on that?
24,922.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the tubes and head walls for a bridge replacement from Contact in the amount of $24,922 to come out of the bridge fund.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the purchase of tubes and head wall from Contact for $24,922 for bridge replacement. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
What's the location of that?
Now, where's-
Yeah, I have to check the map.
Yeah.
Be sure.
Which one?
So, but that one doesn't have the amount.
That's fun right there.
Is this
That we
for,
just bid earlier.
for the
For the tubes.
inventory? This one?
Right.
For,
We need to put an amount on it.
what's the amount?
Um,
48,000,
127.60.
127.60?
The contractor that's doing the chip and seal for us this year called me the other day, and Circle Wheel has contacted him and wanted to see if they can tag on to our bid. I said, I really don't have an issue with it, I think we've done that in the past. They just need to work out details, you know, with them paying.
Yeah, that would be on, yeah.
So,
I suggested some of these smaller cities around here, when they were talking about that, to contact the contractor to be assigned
So I
up.
think Boyd's been doing chip and seal this year too.
Okay.
The guardrail we got hit down here, I did get the report from Tim last week, so I got names, I've already contacted State Farm about that, and trying to ask her to try to get it put up today. So by the end of the day, hopefully we'll have some costs, so we can get that emailed into the State Farm.
Cool. Good.
We had 2 services last week, got the steel in, you know, we're gonna repair those 2 belly dumps. Had some steel inside of them, so we can stretch those things out a little longer. So that came in, working on the lights on the yellow water truck. And, dust control, we've got, last week we were able to do 142, from the highway to the quarry. We got U4, 94, 142 done, and we got W, 142, 134 done. And that was kind of their window, they said they could squeeze in, so they won't be back for another 2 weeks now, so we'll need to see that accomplished. There's a 2 on U and 178, that got put in last week. Did some ditching on 178 also. They had flood damage we talked to you about, up around Wetmore area, over rock-wise on B, 190 to 178, and 190 B to C, and K, 134 to 126, and 246 E to D. It was rock last week. Again, that's our patching, taking care of the old potholes. That's about all I've got.
Can you hold up on that? I want to talk about something later here.
I had a one call about 238 from the old highway east.
Yes.
Actually, I had 2 people talk to me about it after the rain was pretty nasty from P Road to the east. So we probably need to look at that and see what we can do. I know
It's on our list.
Okay.
Actually got bumped off the list for this year, with some other things.
We need to see if we can get out there and at least do some shaping a little bit to get the water off the road, because I think that's the biggest issue right now is potholes and the water getting in the road. Yeah.
Definitely word. But that's, you know, that project is about 9 miles.
Sure. No, yeah,
It's big.
but at least get out and see if we can't clarify, shape the road just a little bit if there's anything there to shape. So, thank you.
What about the email from Donna Smith of the Department of Transportation?
I didn't see that. What is it?
The one that she says,
Was that to individuals or was that to
I think we all got it, commissioners,
commissioners?
yeah,
I don't recall seeing it.
about the federal funds and the road, let's see, I'm checking to see where you are getting the above referenced bridge added to your national bridge inventory. And he responded back to her at one point,
Oh, Donna Schmidt, okay.
Donna Smith, Kansas Department of Transportation. Came on April 4th. And to Public Works with carbon copy to commissioners.
And she's going to do what? I can read it, I just thought,
Okay.
I'll look.
From Lisa Wamika.
Is that one on 190 road?
Yes,
Bridge?
190th
That-
Road west of J.
That has been back and forth for quite some time. The story I'm getting is the tribe had that bridge rebuilt. It's on their road, 190 section there is not our road.
It's their road that they maintain.
They maintain, yes, yes. And the story I heard is they got money to have that bridge rebuilt and got rebuilt. And now nobody's taking ownership of it for, keeping usually when you take a bridge out, you have to take the inventory number out and they give the new inventory number for the new bridge. So, and that's what I told you guys about, where she was wanting an NUD or something like that. And I don't think that's correct, I think it's something
A
else.
memorandum of understanding.
Yes,
MOU.
MOU, yeah. But she was saying an NUD or, I didn't know what that was.
It says new bridges are required to be placed on the NPI within 3 months of opening to traffic. It appears that this bridge has been carrying traffic much longer than this.
I would say go down and just take care of it and get back with it.
Okay.
And that's my opinion. You know, that let's just,
Yeah, and normally how we do that is we get hold of Mike Maris with the lead engineering, because he does all our inspections and stuff, and he would go in and get that, take it off the inventory list and then put on.
and I guess if there's any cost to that, we'll just send the bill to Road and Bridge Tribe.
I think the last one did cost us like $1,000.
I'm curious because if you're saying that the tribe had the bridge put in,
That's what I was told.
okay, that's what I'm asking. So what I'm asking is, the tribe saying it's not a travel bridge nor BIA bridge nor in our inventory. Well, if they got the federal funds to have the bridge put in, yes, it is a Jackson County bridge, but it's on a road that they are supposed to be maintaining. So I think it would be their responsibility to have things.
Permitting? Is that, I mean, is the element of this a permitting thing?
It's already in.
It's
Well, I
already
mean,
in.
but, yeah, but I'm saying, what was missed was paperwork thing. They're not putting it in inventory for,
Are there bridges
When it
on,
goes-
are there
when it
bridges on
goes
the
in-
reservation
I
that
just
are
said
in the
it to you, Todd.
Potawatomi tribal inventory?
well, I mean,
think
is
so,
anything
because
in particular in their inventory is the question.
Well, that's what I'm asking, because they said, what they're saying is, what Lisa Wamika's saying is, if Jackson County signs the bridge and roads over the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation, then we will maintain it and take care of it. Until such time, the bridge is Jackson County responsibility, they need to inspect it. Fine and dandy, but did they ask permission to have the bridge put in the first place?
Could take, it's 2 years before I was here.
How many years back we're talking about?
Matt, you call
I
bridge on 190?
yeah,
More than 5 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And the state's just now catching it?
Well, I
Really? Was
think
that
they've
long
been
enough?
after it for a while.
The
First
original
I
email,
dealt with it seemed like was like last,
November
June.
13th, 2024.
okay. I said it's last year, so.
You hate for them to pull federal funds to.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if, number one, if the tribe didn't ask permission to have the bridge replaced, then that's on them.
It is, but we are where we are.
Yeah.
And
And
so
that's
now
why I
let's get
guess
it inspected and send
I'm
in the bill.
saying, whatever, go ahead and do what needs to be done to make it right. And then any cost incurred through engineering, not your cost, we'll just send tribe the bill.
Or, yeah, let us know what it is, and what exactly had to be done. I mean, that may be key too, because it was, there's probably a half dozen reasons, right?
Yeah, if it's very little,
And then, but then are we going to run into the same problem that we had before? Because this says the Kansas Historic Resources Inventory lists the bridge in Jackson County as a Warren Trust that has historical significance. So are we going to have to go through the same rigmarole we did for the last one and find one to replace it? And if that is the case, that's not our responsibility as far as I'm concerned, because the tribe replaced the bridge.
Well, I think I'm understanding it, but I think what they're saying, I think they're correct, is at the end of the day, the right of way is ours. And if that's the case, then, technically, it should have been done differently, but it wasn't, so it is. do we have a problem with the bridge? You know, kind of got to accept the fact that this is not, you know, them, you know, dressing up a road with a grader. It's a permanent replacement, so.
I understand that.
Yeah, but we can't, I mean, we can't go back in time, so at this point, I would say, you know, since it's on our right of way, we've got to clean this up. And if there is an economic burden because of what they did wrong in installation, then we gotta,
So, yeah, so that,
We
we're
address it
saying the
again.
same thing.
yeah.
Go get the engineering taken care of, get all that done, send them a bill for the engineering costs. And, but I'm just a little curious here because of they're talking about the historical significance of that bridge that was replaced. If now we're going to have to go out through the county and try to find a bridge to replace it like we did up here.
I don't think we go anywhere in that direction unless, I have no idea what that means when the bridge has already been replaced. I mean,
They'd be asking for that already, I mean, years ago. I mean.
But if they
again,
just
it was-
discovered it, then they're not gonna be asking for that until now. That's what I'm.
Well, but until they actually ask for it, I don't know if we should assume they're gonna ask for it. So.
All right, so
and I-
get the engineering costs taken care of and get that done. But, and then if they come to you again and say, well, now you gotta go find us a bridge, then we'll address that.
And I prevail on you guys just to let us know what that is before you send it to the tribe.
Yes.
We need to be consistent about this, because if it's a, like I said, if it's an error during the construction or installation of what they did, I'm with you all the way. If it's just maintenance or something like that, then you might want to think about whether or not that's really what our deal. Makes sense?
Yeah,
Matt,
makes
you might,
sense.
they had a question earlier there, on the inventory list. Are there bridges on the reservation that?
You'll have to look.
On, our inventory list?
I'm about to look.
Okay.
I'm sure they're their roads, but it's our bridge and
Okay.
confusing as heck.
Okay, so we'll dig into that. Very well.
All right, sounds good.
All right, real quick, these are two new guys. Want to introduce yourselves real quick?
Jim Knott, you want to stand up? Rick?
Oh, no.
You're good, you're good.
I know, I had to.
Jim?
Jim?
Okay.
And I am Tad Rogers.
Chad, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you guys.
Glad you're here.
Glad, yeah, welcome aboard.
Thanks.
That's Pete Kelly, you're our crew, if you didn't know.
No, Linda.
Yep.
Yeah.
We won't hold that against you.
Yep.
But that's, about all I have today.
So we have a meeting with
That was
you.
it?
Yes.
It's Matt.
See you, Matt.
See you guys,
Uh,
thank you.
Matt, know about
Yes,
that.
yes. And I got some big maps to print out so we can see. And Brandon and I went and looked at that the other day, and there was a, Rick, what's his name, lives like 2 houses south of where your son lives.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
He was out,
Mongold.
he's a good last name, he said Rick. He's the one I got on to about running the box blade down the road.
Okay, gotcha.
Um,
That'd be good.
So anyway, we kind of showed him the maps and what we were doing. He says, I didn't know these right of ways were that far. You know, it's out
Yeah.
there.
It's, I'm not sure it's something that we can bite off as a county this year. I think there's gotta be other solutions, so I'm anxious to hear what they feel like maybe would be an adequate solution.
Yep, that's why I'm glad we're having this meeting, to try and get that ironed out.
Especially, and to me, what bugs me the most or concerns me the most is those rock ledges that's running down through those ditches. Man, you get into that, it's
You
just.
have water issues,
Oh,
you
yeah,
have,
yeah.
then you've gotta end up figuring out a way to get the drainage correctly and.
All right, Christie, you had something?
Okay. So last week, there was a discussion on budget reports and the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So I just had it here in Romy's and reports. I don't know if you were aware of the discussion about or not, but, okay. So Keith had a question on the spreadsheet.
Right, so the the topic of the conversation was being able to have something that shows what funds he has available and what's encumbered, so that we always have a running total, whether it's budgeted rock, budgeted equipment, bridges, 0.04%, all those. The ones that we had on the other sheet,
Okay, so if you look at that top report that I gave you, the budget report,
okay?
okay, if you look at the top, that's gonna be the income that he has.
So the fund,
Right. Anything with a 4 is gonna be an income item. So that'll be any of the income that he's gotten in for that.
okay?
Okay, and if you go down to the bottom, then you're gonna have your expenditures. And if you flip to that second sheet,
Okay, how do you okay, so with expenditures being,
the expenses.
no, I know what it is, but I
It's gonna
mean,
be
road
expenses.
miscellaneous, $40,000. Okay,
that's-
so
that's what we
you're
budgeted.
listing each one
Yes.
out
Each
individually.
one has its own line item.
Okay.
So we have gone in and encumbered any of his purchase orders that he has, or any of the big purchases you guys have okayed.
Uh-huh.
So you've got an encumbered amount over here,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna have the percentage of what's been spent. That'll kind of give him an idea where he's at on his budget.
So the percentage, like on the second page, top one, percentage is 23.60% of what was budgeted.
For the oil and grease line item.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So is this kind of what you're wanting? I mean, we can run
It
this
is.
report for the whole county.
I don't need it, I don't need it for the whole county, me personally, because the items that we deal with are typically roads and bridge and decisions they need to make. The other departments, that just doesn't come up, but just like we were talking about whether to do extended warranties on blades versus purchasing a new blade and not having to do that. Like, okay, I don't even know how much money you have left in that account, I don't know what's encumbered, I don't, so it's just that information. So I like
Anything
this,
that
if you can run.
guys make a motion on,
Mhm.
we can encumber
That'd
and
be
have it
great.
sitting out there so
That's
people
what you
know what he does.
That's exactly what I
Put that
want.
in.
Now,
And
is the encumbered amount that's shown on here the actual purchase orders that you have come across your desk, not necessarily things that we do make a motion on? Because we might not get a purchase order until later in the week for Scott to get it in or
No,
whatever.
I'm gonna encumber whatever you guys make a motion on.
Okay, perfect.
So
Yeah.
that way,
Yep.
chip and seal.
And how often do they bring bills up to your office?
Daily.
Daily?
Sometimes.
So-
it's Aaron and, you know, odds
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
bills
and
that
you'll
gets in there
have
too.
different encumbrances throughout the month.
Okay,
Right.
yes.
Okay,
That's why the spreadsheet didn't work last year, because there's different encumbrances that might have come out of an account that wasn't accounted for on the spreadsheet.
okay, so again, back to this, this is, this page, starting here, those are all,
Those are all his line items within his fund.
I don't see.
Okay, but remember this, I just remembered the bridge. I didn't deal with the other ones he has. I only did one which he showed you.
Okay, so what would be outside of road and bridge,
Now, he would have his 451,
which is,
the 4% rock.
okay,
Special machinery, 240.
okay.
Um,
So all those can be put into one smaller document, correct? You don't have to,
No, I can run just like him. I can run just a 240 report that would give you the same information.
so all those accounts, Christie, that we had in that Excel spreadsheet last year over a couple of years,
Yeah.
if you can take, at least for me, I think that tells us the whole story. And just run an account for each one of those on a weekly basis, because then we know, so one of the decisions, you know, that we typically do throughout the year, we look at how much money was budgeted for gravel. And once we get down to a certain amount of that, we stop there and then we move over to the 4.4%. And so being able to look at, oh, okay, so how much money is coming in on a monthly basis to that 0.4%?
Right.
How much money do we have there? Okay, now, maybe it's August, Scott, let's move over there and let's start, you know, we have a discussion and then we make a decision as a group to move over and start taking money out of that and not out of the budget.
And I did have Aaron run, I can't get on my computer at the moment,
Okay.
so I had Aaron run recent reports.
So if all that information can be in a
Well,
You know,
question I have too is something I've never been quite sure of. When we get the money from mid-states was like $135,000.
correct.
We got
I was getting
money
it.
from the exchange money come in. Where does that show that this is going back in? Because to me, that should go back to the rock budget.
Correct.
Out of the rock budget.
Correct.
Well, it's,
So mid-states material,
is that your special highway
135,000.
money,
That's
or is
income.
that something different?
Say that again.
Is that the special highway money, or is that something different?
So it's the reimbursement for the rock that is put on, okay. The mid-states material is 15 cents per ton for all material that comes out of the Denison quarry. The other money is any FAS route that we put gravel on.
For a certain amount.
Correct.
Like last year was like 85,000, the year before was 90,000.
We just need to make sure that that it shows that is income, and then it goes into the rock account.
So is this a wire transfer?
Okay, so, no, so mid-states material money did come, but probably they didn't know they had a certain line item to put it in. Because,
Who's they? Who would be they?
Unless,
well,
Okay, so, yeah, I'm just trying to
I mean,
understand.
because I had asked Lisa to let me know when the money came in, and she sent me a message that the money come. Okay, so I do know
how
that,
much was it, you know?
I don't know, I didn't ask her.
135,389 is what shows.
What
Because-
shows here?
Okay, because I know Chad, okay, I knew when the check was being mailed, and then he said that the extra money that they usually give you for
Dust control.
dust control was added into it also.
Yes.
And then he said the breakdown was emailed to your office. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll have that.
anyway, so I know that that money should be in this line item
So
somewhere,
do we-
and it's not.
Do we need to break out the dust control and put it back in that line item?
Yes.
The $4,000.
Can you
Yeah.
email me
Yeah.
that breakdown?
I'll dig it up.
So you'll need to check and look for that receipt and stuff. And
We have to check and everything. with the stuff.
right, but it didn't get put in this line item here. This
Okay.
says anticipated, and there is money that's,
What line item are you looking at?
well, the one here that said,
Line item 5/100/4303.
On
right,
the first page.
it says
Yes.
anticipated amount. Well, I do know that
Yeah.
money has came and should be put in there.
Under the revenue.
Yes, under the revenue.
Yep.
So wherever that money, you know, I don't know where that money went into.
And see that, and that's, was always my question, is when I get the pink slip out there that it was deposited to the treasurer's, it's got a number on it like this.
It
And that
should
doesn't
have.
match, that doesn't match any of mine.
Right, because that's an income number.
Yeah.
So see, your girls probably brought that check up and gave it to Lisa
Right.
and didn't have a number on it maybe. I don't know.
So can I make a suggestion? Any income that comes in, or it goes into this, then the conversation the following Monday needs to be had, what, with Road and Bridge and the three of us, determine what account that money goes into. Thoughts?
Absolutely.
Thoughts?
No, that's great.
Because to me, you know, when that comes in, that's rock money, that's where it came from, so it should go back to rock money.
But I think having the conversation between all of us
Right.
gives us an opportunity to go, okay, maybe and we have authority to move that, it doesn't have to go into the rock, but if for some reason we had a huge flood and needed another $100,000 worth of tubes,
Yeah.
we could move that into tubes and put that. So I think having that conversation,
Which is probably the mid-states money probably just all went into rock when it got put in.
but he needs to know so that he can keep track via this.
Right, like I say, the girls are gonna have to check, and so,
Right.
So I've got a question here, just looking at this.
Front page? What?
Yes, front page, right under mid-states, two down, it says dust control, and there was a monthly revenue of $4,875. Is that people paying in that have done it, or we had mentioned $4,000 was dust control from mid-states, did that get dumped into there?
I have to pull the jail.
Yeah, I mean, it was just close enough, 4,000, I thought, well, let's ask that question. But then also, I'm trying to figure out,
And-
That's
and
probably what it is.
What was it?
probably people that have paid for dust control.
Okay.
Okay. And then also, I'm just looking here, so that 325 dust control, but then down here, we also have a 925 road stabilization. I thought that,
That one can go away.
okay,
That has nothing in it. And chip and seal can go away.
chip and seal reimbursement,
Yeah.
Okay.
Those two can go away.
all right. Okay,
My goal was to clean these up this year, but
yes,
we've been so busy that I haven't had a chance to get a whole lot
Okay.
done yet.
yeah, no, I understand that.
And so, yeah, this is exactly what I was thinking. And,
And if Scott wants to keep the spreadsheet, I mean, he can keep the spreadsheet and then just use his, I don't know if you keep every number, but you can use your signature sheets to balance back
And that's why,
everything.
that's
Yeah,
why,
and then I can run your report
and then once a month, make sure that you're,
yeah.
I know last year, it always seemed to be the contention that the spreadsheet didn't balance what the budget said and so on and so forth, and trying to get back and forth between the two just didn't seem to be happening. If you guys want to keep the spreadsheet, that's fine and dandy, but you just need to realize it has to budget and balance back to
This
the
is what's
budget.
in the
The
accounting
budget's not
system.
going to balance back to the
right, and
spreadsheet.
so the good thing,
but last year, a lot of it was, I was thinking something was getting done, and get up here and told us something different. It was taken out of a different account, or moved here or there, because I was showing like $300,000 in my rock budget last year.
and
like
was
August,
that,
was
was part of
zero.
that because some of this money didn't get put into that account? Maybe it, you know,
Yeah, well, I guess all I'm saying is, keep the spreadsheet, if you guys want to do that, that's fine, but it needs to balance to the budget. The budget's not going to balance back to the
Right,
spreadsheet,
right.
so.
And we
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that last year on the, I think it was the rock budget, and then like I said, 2 months later, I'm still showing 300,000, and she's showing more hours. So,
And then speaking of that, you brought up the 0.4%. I just read in the recorder again that the sales tax is down, has been down for the last 3 months in Jackson County. So we're gonna have to kind of keep a close eye on that and watch that 0.4% because we're not getting near as much money put back into it.
We
so
dropped,
what is the exact amount?
we dropped about 6,000 between two deposits. One was 58,000 and one was
So
55,000.
we're talking a minuscule amount. I
Right,
mean,
but when I
it's big picture.
budget, I'm gonna budget on the lower side.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, well, it's not that much, but it's something we need to keep an eye on, is what I'm saying.
We're gonna need to watch, interest too.
Which, you know how much she's got.
That's- that's what-
So that would be another piece that you could add on here, the interest that we're making in where that money is going. So where does that money,
Well, interest goes into county general.
county general, but it's nice if it's broke out so that we can understand how much interest is in county general for the year.
I'll just run, I mean, this report's not that big for me to go countywide. So I'll just do
Okay.
the funds.
Okay.
I'll just do the budget. and see what we can.
Thank you. And then as you're, as the gals out at Wood Bridge calculate the amount of gravel on a weekly basis or a daily basis, you can get that information to them so that that stays up to account. Do you want that on daily or weekly?
And can you ask them to make sure that the account number's on your deposits and bills? Sometimes we don't get it. And I'm not gonna guess where stuff comes from.
Yeah, that's probably where some discrepancy is the numbers from one place to the next place. If there's not,
Because we have
if they haven't put a
pulled out
number on, then somebody else is gonna do a different number.
Right.
I don't really
So that way
know.
we would be more consistent.
So
with the office.
if your office sees that, if you get something in, you go, that is, we can't take it out of that. So then there needs to be a stop and let's communicate. Is that possible?
I mean, if we know we can't take it out of that, we're gonna call and say we can't do this.
Perfect.
But if he has two line items, one's rock and one's tubes, we don't know what it's for. I mean, if they put a number on it that's not the correct number, we're gonna use what they say because they're telling us that's where they want the money. So we're not gonna change that.
Okay. So it would be important that you see this report on a weekly basis to go, oh, wait a minute. We
Why
took,
come out of there?
why did the money come out of there and
Because
question
we
that.
have went back and had to pull things out, and the pink slip
Sure.
has the number we
It's gonna
have
happen,
in the
we're
system.
doing
And there's been times that we've keyed it wrong.
Yeah.
It goes
And
both
actually,
ways.
you know, when they pay the bills and give you that signature sheet, look at it really good and be sure they've taken it out of the right fund. That's where you can catch it out while
There
you're
you go,
too.
yeah.
Is to look at that signature sheet.
That's what I was doing.
Okay,
I got signs on, I'm looking at them.
Got it.
okay.
All right.
Thank you, Christie. This is very helpful. This is exactly what I was looking for last week in our conversation.
And Scott and I have an appointment on Wednesday
Yes.
to go over his budget.
No.
Thursday, to go over his budget and payroll.
Yeah, Wednesday's gonna be their time.
Is this, what was this sheet for?
That is just the treasurer's report to show you what cash we have on.
Thursday at night.
Thank you, Scott.
Sure.
All right. Scott, Christie, thank you very much for that information.
Good job. That works.
So if you could go out and look at 238 and just see if there's anything we can do short term to shake the road up, do something.
We talked this morning a little bit before we get wrapped up into Deer Run or W Road out here, maybe we could jump out and knock out P3. We did put some rock down there last week, you know, when Robin came in and spoke with us, so we did put some rock out there. So we talked this morning about within the next 2 weeks, maybe jump out there and knock that out. It's not a huge project.
Right.
It will take care of some things.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, I understand that was a project that kind of got dropped down here for others, but just, just even finding out the potholes and seeing what you do there, that would probably go a long ways.
And as far as, I'd really love to finish W
Yeah, oh yeah,
first thing,
yeah.
but Brandon Henley brought up this morning about Deer Run. If we can knock some of that out this summer, when school's not in, we can eliminate those buses running up and down through there.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, things we gotta consider there.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to start going and stop again and go out there.
Yeah.
So we need to be talking about our plans.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thank you.
Yes.
I can throw it away for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Todd, you got anything? Oh, no.
Yeah, well, we need to talk about the incentive pay thing real quick.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, I don't have, Department of Labor visited and said that the incentive pay structure is an overtime issue. And I think, just looking at it, I don't have their ruling, so I'm not sure, but
I haven't got anything.
yeah, I'm thinking what happened here is they see the word pay and they see times, and they go to, well, it's overtime. There's no logical way that this is actually tied to overtime. I think what you do, I mean, this is my take on it, absent the ruling is you don't, you say incentive bonus or longevity bonus. You don't call it pay, right? And pretty much everything else about it is maybe just nomenclature at that point, because you don't want to say that it's based, it's paid, right?
Yeah.
So I think if we modify that, I think we're good. I can't imagine how they took this, how you get from this to a overtime thing, that,
Because it's been coded, I mean, it's been said like that forever, that's what it's been called.
We've never had the Department of Labor come in and do a loss before, so.
Is that why it's a
Never.
question? That's why I wondered.
2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they think that if you're adding this to their actual pay, you know, like your hourly rate goes, the per hour rate goes up.
That's kind of what I got from him.
Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of need to separate that out.
Okay.
And make it more clear that it's a bonus pay, it's not, it doesn't change the hourly rate.
So that would be a change in the employee.
Yeah, is this a policy or is it a payroll plan? I don't know if it's a policy or not. Okay, yeah. So, I think somebody sent me a scan of it, a copy of it.
Yeah, we had a copy of it last week, I think, so.
Yeah, but I don't have is there a Word version somewhere, or do you just want to read it?
I think it's on the back of that sheet that's on there.
At least you don't say things like Kathy is how they used to, so.
Well, I mean, I don't think we need to wait around for that. If that's okay, we'll just, if somebody can give me that, or tell me you don't have it, we'll retype it, but whatever the case may be, it just needs to be redrafted, and I think that's probably going to solve the problem. Yes.
But it's on the handbook. Don't think? No? Okay.
Yes.
That, yeah, Pat says it's the payroll 2025 pay plan, payroll pay plan. In the holiday folder.
That's where she put it. Thank you. Yeah, I know something different.
So, I guess, is that the questions we had on the personnel manual? I think you got that footwork here, right? Okay. I guess, I looked at the ambulance contract, if you asked, and there is a provision in there where you can see a profit and loss provision requested. I don't know if that could answer the question you're asking, but it looks to me to be a start, right?
What was that for?
It was for the ambulance company. You can ask to see a profit and loss, specifically in the agreement, says something to that effect. So if you wanted to do that, maybe that would be something that I could point out. And I wouldn't want it to come from me.
Oh, you don't?
Well, at this point, no. It seems that's a law that may trigger the.
So maybe it would come from our chairman in
Yep.
the form of an email just saying, hey, in preparation for upcoming discussions of our
Contract
contract
negotiations.
negotiations, if you could get to us in advance profit and loss for your company,
Yes.
not just the funds that you bring in from the county.
And that, you know, we may find that that's limited or something, but at least we've done that first step. You know, go from there.
Perfect.
Now we got a chance to get the letter of insurance company out from the burned out house. That's a process. I don't know if you want to talk about the memo yet, or you have time to digest what I sent.
You're talking about
I-
the right of way?
Start reading on the right of way, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we
I'd
need to
love
talk about that.
Okay, well, that's your call on executive session time.
I'll leave that up to the chair.
Okay.
Yep, let's go into executive session for, what?
20 minutes
I mean, for
for attorney-client privilege
attorney-client privilege, okay?
to discuss the city's property interests.
Okay.
County.
County. All right, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for attorney-client privilege to discuss the county property incentive.
So moved.
Interest.
Second.
Move second.
Yeah.
Okay, been properly moved and seconded to go into executive session for 20 minutes to include,
10:22.
at 10:22, go back up, same place, to include the commissioners, clerk, and the counselor. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Move to go into executive session for attorney-client privilege, data relating to financial affairs, secondary party.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to go into attorney-client privilege for data relating, financial data relating to a
Secondary.
secondary party. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. How long?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Same people in. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, we are back in session.
Am I writing?
Okay, so we had discussed last week about the calling tree.
Yep.
And John can take the phone call right now at 11 o'clock, so you want me to go ahead and give him a call?
Sure.
Or do you want to call him on there? Can you hear on there?
You might have that over on.
Okay. Let
Just like I
me
don't think that's where it is.
do this, and we'll get them on the phone. 1 second. Do we want to get Amy down here so she can explain what's going on too?
I don't,
Or we
I
may-
mean, we kind of know that they need to cut off at 4:30.
She
So
wants her
4.
phones off at 4, and she didn't know if we wanted to do the whole calling tree off at 4, or if we're gonna make it so just her offices.
Just her off.
Hey Dave, how you doing? This is Mark Pruitt, Chairman, Jackson County Commissioner. Yeah, hey, how you doing today? Well, I'm hanging in there, buddy. So we have some questions on the calling tree, and I'm going to let, you're here on speakerphone with the commissioners and audience, county counselor, and our clerk. And I'm going to let Christy kind of jump in here and explain what's going on, and with the clerk of the court, what she would like to see, and so we can figure out if this is possible.
Okay. Can you give me the phone number they called and you can talk to me?
For the district court,
That's what we're working on.
785-364-2191.
2191, okay, yeah.
Okay, so Amy would like to be able to have her phones cut off at 4 o'clock. But with the calling tree, she says it doesn't work because it rolls over. So she wants district court to be able to not take any phone calls and for it to go straight to voicemail after 4.
Okay, so, if I remember right, I think normal calls that come into the district do shut off at 4 o'clock, but then calls that come into, I want to say the county clerk.
Correct, because if we transfer a call up, it's going to them.
So, one of those auto attendants goes till 4:30.
On their lines,
But, yeah, I mean, I remember looking at this, I'm trying to figure out how the heck after 4 o'clock, we get to so much, I can't honestly remember if it's,
they do have a jury hotline number. So it's probably that hotline
I'm sorry?
number.
They do have a jury hotline number, so it's probably that.
well, it comes into another, it seems like it comes into another auto attendant. And that auto attendant, I want to say it's the county clerk, but I'm not sure.
We get all the phone calls.
yeah, I mean, there's an option there for you guys, and that auto attendant stays up until 4:30.
Correct.
I think
And I don't
that's
want
what
mine
we
changed.
figured out. I'm sorry?
I don't want mine changed on the county clerk. I want mine to go until
All,
4:30.
all county offices need to stay open until 4:30 on the phone line. Just the district court needs to close at 4 o'clock. And it needs to go into voicemail, not ring from phone to phone to phone in the court, county clerk or court's office.
Right. My only problem with that, I mean, we could build another auto attendant, I guess. I mean, the auto attendant for the county, the courthouse, that one is working, okay, 4 o'clock is done.
No,
So I did test that one.
We get calls until 4:30.
what do you mean?
Now,
Okay, hang on just a second, because the clerk's office still gets calls until 4:30, and it doesn't cut off till 4:30.
right, but I believe there's 2 auto attendants.
Okay, I don't understand what you're meaning by auto attendant. Can you explain that to me?
Well, I mean, the last time I looked, it looked like there was a auto attendant for the district court by itself.
Oh,
And that one is turned on at 4 o'clock. Okay?
So when you say, if I can get a definition here, auto attendant, you're meaning the calling tree, what we call the calling tree.
Yes.
Okay.
okay, but when we transfer a call, the transfer's still on.
Well, what I'm saying is, at 4 o'clock, they call the district court's phone number. It should hit the district court's calling tree. At 4 o'clock, that calling tree basically says you guys are not available. Okay?
Okay?
And the phone number you gave me, the 2191, that's the district court phone number, right?
Yes.
So I've got 2 call trees for the district court. One is 7050, that's your day. And one is 7001, that's your night. So if I go and look at 70,
So basically, we just
let's look at Pikachu first, okay? So if I look at your auto attendant per day, 7050, when I look at it, I've got, looks like it says, clerk of district court, there's a treasurer's office, there's Jackson County register, treasurer's office, clerk, separation, Jackson County attorney, community corrections, ABN, RND, Nazis, and emergency, I can't go there. And then, 0, they do the main courthouse, so, they call this number, the 2191, is going to get this and give them a reading, give them these options. Now, you can dial 7050 if you've got a phone close to you, you can hear it say. You hear exactly what it says.
Okay, so if we were to transfer to the 2191, would they still get that message saying they're not available? Because we get a lot of district court phone calls.
You're talking about 2191 extension?
Yes.
No, because you're transferring directly to an extension.
Okay.
So you would not get that. If you want to transfer and want to get that, you would transfer to the 7050 if you want to get that opportunity of that calling.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So
Okay,
And then, if we look at your night one, which is 7001. Okay, so this is your night, and basically, there's no choices. Basically, it's gonna give a prompt. It looks like, basically, I'm guessing it's gonna basically say you're closed, and there's no transfers or anything else on there, and they can't get it.
Okay, so during the daytime, if we just made it so every office transfers to that 7050 for district court, between 8 and 4, they're gonna get a person, but after 4, they're gonna get the voicemail.
After 4, they would have to transfer to the other office.
Which is the number that Christie just read.
Which would be the 7001, it's close, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, I'm guessing, I don't know if you've got phone close to you, but if you dial 7001, you'll hear whatever the prompt is for your after hours.
okay, hang on, she's doing that right now.
Okay.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have...
Okay, so after 4 o'clock, if I just tell all the other offices to transfer it to the 7001, we shouldn't have a problem.
As far as transferring goes, yes.
Okay. And if they just dial directly, they're gonna get that other hit, and it's gonna tell them that they're unavailable.
Right, because when I look on this phone number, the 2191, so when I go in there and I look, and basically, I don't know if you guys get into the system or not, but, I'm on incoming calls, and I type in 2191, and it shows the 7050 on open hours, and it shows the 7001 on closed hours. And then to the far right of that, it says business hours, and it says district court. So if I go to business hours, and I look at district court, it does show from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock on that piece there.
Okay. Okay, so I think that'll answer the questions. If we just transfer to the night one, it should solve our issues.
It should. I mean, I know it's a little complicated, but yeah, the only other thing I noticed, like I said, I want to say with the county clerk's call tree, of course, they're open from 8 to 4:30, but there is an option in that call tree to go to, district court, right?
Correct, but people don't know who they're calling when they call us. They don't know if it's district court or the county clerk they want, so we normally are the ones that get chosen.
So, yeah, so if they hit that and it's not, and it's 4:15 or whatever, and they take that first, I think it's the first option, it will still ring you guys.
We want it to ring to us. I'm the county clerk. We want our phone to ring till
No,
4:30.
I'm sorry, I mean, it will still ring to the, county court.
If they call the 3591 or whatever the other number is, I think you lost me.
Let me see, district court, see if I can find that number.
So if they take the option after 4, it's still gonna go through.
If they dial that number and hit that call tree, because that call tree is set up to be, available from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4:30.
Okay, so is there any way just to turn the district court off at 4?
I mean, trying to think of a way to make that happen.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Is there any way just to put district court on their own calling thing, calling tree?
Well, I think they're kind of sort of that way. I mean, you both, apparently you both share, I'm looking at your stuff now. And apparently you both share that same auto attendant
Correct.
and the same night. The only difference is when we set up for your phone number, we set it up so that the business hours from 8 to 4:30 instead of 8 to 4.
So wouldn't the solution be to just have their own auto attendant and eliminate it out? And if somebody calls into your office or any office, they just need to say, you need to call this number and then say, I'm done. No more transferring.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Can we do that?
Did you hear his question?
So we can take the courthouse. I mean, I can set you guys up with your own call tree, and I guess not have the courthouse on there.
Well, I just want district court taken off of what we have now and them set up on their own. Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I can do it either way. We'll just have to build a couple of auto attendants for
Okay, I would like her to be on her own because that way every other department's not gonna get jacked around.
Right, right. And that's fine, but, I mean, I guess, so I just want to make sure I got this clear. So I can definitely build an auto attendant for the district court. I'm guessing, I'm guessing in case somebody calls that number, do we want to give them all the options that we have on the other one?
You'd have to talk to Amy.
No,
Just call Amy. Let her build it the way she wants it.
yeah. I would just have Amy build it how she wants it. She may just want her incoming number and then extensions for her ladies in her office
Okay.
and the judges.
So, yeah, we can do that, and then on your auto attendant, do we take district court off?
Yes,
Okay. So, till we get to that point, do you want to have the lady that's going to set up the auto attendant, for the district court, give me a call? We can get that
Absolutely.
built.
Yep.
Once we get that built, I can take that option 1 off, so I have to go in and re-record your auto attendant.
okay.
Night, I think we just all use the same night. I don't think we need to change nights. They'll just go in the night dates, different times like they do now.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you guys get a call for district court, I guess the best way, I think, is what the gentleman said, is just give them their phone number and not transfer them.
Okay. I think that will work, and I'll have Amy get a hold of you so she can set it up how she wants it.
Yeah, as soon as she gets a hold of me and we get it set up, then I can kill that option for the court on your auto unit, on your call tree.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, I think Dick got all the questions answered. Dave, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate your time.
No, that's no problem. If you guys need anything else, give me a yell.
All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Clear as bud?
That's what I was going to say.
All right. Here are, Todd, did you have anything else?
I didn't. Don't think so.
All right.
You gonna hang around or you guys gonna stay out of trouble this time?
We always stay out of trouble.
I have a quick question. Christie, can you double check the contract with Rob Hartwell? That's not month to month, we're in full contract for the entire calendar year, correct?
Yeah.
Thought so.
Okay. I got an email back from him, he says, I realize our contract is actually expired and suggest we go month to month until we get the bill introduced. I don't know what contract I need to clarify what contract. His contract with us, though, is in full effect for the year 2025.
I thought so, yeah.
Okay. Right. I'll email him back and have him define what he's.
That's you.
Oh, good.
And we do have some tax abatements here.
So I've got a copy of it, so I'll do.
But I don't know if
Go ahead. Is this a question for me still, or is it?
No, no.
Nope, I think we're good, bud. We'll see you next week.
That's right.
Once again, appreciate the information. That was good stuff, so.
It is up February 5th, 2025, unless modified or extended on a month-to-month or some other basis by the client in writing.
Okay.
It doesn't automatically extend?
So we had budgeted for that for the 2025 year.
Yes.
Go back and find where it was.
We need to,
But you can just, I mean, if you want, you guys can send it, if you want to keep it up, you send, just, you guys move to send a letter to continue it month to month until we give it a date certain in that letter.
why would we have not been under contract for the whole year though? I mean,
Well,
It looks like we just did 12 months. We did from February 5th, 24 to February 5th, 25,
right?
unless it was modified or extended.
But then we budgeted the money for
For
Right.
a
25.
full 25.
Yeah,
Right.
But you do one of two ways. If you don't want to mess with the new contract, you just talk to him and say, hey, we just agreed to go to the end of the year. We do that, and you can send him a letter saying, you guys would like to extend, so,
For the
Letter.
entire year.
yeah, until December 31st, 25.
or would it be financially,
Same
better
amount of
to-
money. 50,000.
But he said that until the bill's introduced, are we still gonna have to have, we still have to have him on board after the
Once-
bill's introduced to keep arm twisting.
You're still
Yeah.
gonna pay monthly.
Yeah. So do you just wanna go month to month, or, because we're just gonna pay him, split up that 60,000 for the next 12 months, right? Or 50,000 for the next 12 months? Correct?
Yeah, but I want him to understand that, I mean, I feel bad that he's not under contract. We should have renewed, and we should have signed it, and we should
Yeah.
have been paying him.
So I think last time he sent us the contract already in January, I believe, to sign and go.
Yeah, he should have said something.
So is he paid monthly or is he paid
Monthly.
monthly? Well, yeah, I'm just trying to make it easy. on
But he
everybody.
wasn't in 24. When he was under contract, didn't we pay him quarterly?
Just a second.
Or was it something else?
No, it was monthly.
Okay. Can we go ahead and just send him a letter saying,
We'd
They
like
want to
to-
extend the contract for a
We'd
year?
like to extend the contract to the end of 2025 for
yeah,
the monthly
yeah.
payment.
Apologize for any
Yeah.
inconvenience, and I'll send him an email.
Yeah, and then all he has to do is give us some cent for that and get at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Then
right.
maybe talk to him about getting a new contract.
Yeah.
Or you may want to talk to him about it in budget time.
Yeah.
Of the month.
Well, we've already budgeted the money for this year.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah.
next year.
So,
26.
yeah. Okay, perfect. All right,
Scott, have a problem?
don't know. Do you have something, Scott?
Just a second. I'm gonna put you on speaker. Up here with the commissioner. Just tell me what you just said.
Wait, before
Jay
you put,
Searles.
huh? But before you put him on speaker, who is it?
Jay Searles.
And what does he want? Not to step on your toes.
No, you're good.
He got a call from Billy down here at the tribe. It says they're gonna work on a bridge over here on G Road.
Okay.
My question is, why is he calling Jay
Yeah,
and that type of stuff?
Okay.
yep,
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something that for public digest.
yeah.
All right, Jay, can you repeat what you said?
They called me and I had no idea who was even calling me. I thought it was a planning gunner or something, but they said that they're gonna do a preliminary start date on that bridge on G Road on June the 2nd. And they're gonna try to put up their road closed signs and their detour signs at least a week before. And they just wanted to make sure that we was aware of it and we weren't trying to take the signs down. I said, oh, we won't do that. But other than that, that's all I know. I don't know why I got called either, but other than I worked with Billy here a while back on a job and we swapped numbers, and so I thought maybe that's why he called me.
Okay.
Well, I would think that, Jay, this is Mark. Hey, next time you get something like that, you just need to refer them on to Scott.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I said, go ahead and call Scott, and she said, well, we didn't need anything, we just want to let you know.
And that's when you say, nope, you give Scott a call because, that's who you need to talk to.
Right, I
Yeah.
understand that. I had told him that as soon as I found out who it was calling me.
Sure. And where'd you say that bridge was?
It's on G Road over there. What would that be, Scott? I don't even know exactly where it's. I know I can take you right to it, but I can't tell you the numbers.
I don't know, 'cause I just got the information when you just gave me.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why you got it, because I don't know. She just called me and said it was a courtesy call, is all I know.
Courtesy.
And I said, well, you need to call Matt or Scott, and they would know about it, and I was trying to figure out what she was wanting to do, and
Okay.
it's just a courtesy call, is all I know.
All right.
All right. We'll take care of it from here.
That's fine.
All right.
Thanks,
sir.
Jay, appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
We said thank you. Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome, no problem. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.
So we're right back in the same situation we were just discussing this morning.
Well, is this what Darren said something about detours, I see that email, forward that email from him?
No, that was on 158 or something, wasn't it?
I didn't see it.
Or 158.
The ones that they were gonna be doing.
Yeah, for some reason I couldn't call up your email, so I sent Chris this report, I think, if I remember right. If it was a different one, it doesn't matter, I mean, it was just. Because he certainly didn't mention, if it's something different than that, he didn't mention it to me, so.
Upcoming road work. Hang on. Upcoming road work on
150.
150 is gonna be closed. So that's nowhere near a bridge on G Road. 150th and 147th. Nowhere near a bridge on G Road. It's between O and N and O and P. So like I say, we're right back to the same situation we were discussing this morning.
Bridge being changed out without anybody.
Yeah,
Do we know, it's on the reservation, is that? do we know where-
Yeah, they would.
I'm guessing it is.
Yeah. I'm just trying to map it myself, I don't even know.
Found that 190 bridge that you were asking about. We had talked to Michael Maris, our engineer, a couple of months ago. That bridge came back, so I called him again this morning, left him a message, to see what he finished with it. I need an education. On this cameras.
I mean, for bridge on G Road. The only one I see on G Road would
The
be,
numbers the girls say in the work. It's on that, it states, when it came back. Okay.
and some bridge.
Down here.
Okay, here's what she used.
Would be between 214 and 198. Clear up this right to the end of the reservation.
Okay,
Yeah, but northwest
okay, so, yeah.
corner.
Yeah,
So when they write the check to the clerk's office, or treasurer's office.
so that's, I guess, that's the only bridge that I see
They
on G
use
Road,
this
one further to the south that
number,
I can
it's
come
kind of a
across.
generic number, but the 100 is road and bridge. And then they attach this sheet to the back of it.
I see
And then
nothing
when it
more
goes
down
to the
south.
clerk's office, the clerk's office goes off the back of it so that it gets in the exact right line item. So they should have put that money in this line down here.
Okay, and then where does it go from there?
What do you mean?
How does it get to my rock there?
Right here.
That number isn't my rock number. That's
I
my-
see no more, so that's got to be it
Because
as far as I can see.
So are you paying that in as a
Doesn't look like
reimbursement?
much. Well, yeah, there's one there, it's all treated.
So if it's,
Yeah.
if it is, it's not a reimbursement.
That's
It's
the only stream that I see G Road
So the
crossing.
thing is,
Like I
that,
say, they're again, we're back in the
that
same
money should
position
have went into here, okay?
that we were just
Which,
discussing this
I don't know if
morning.
the girls had it on here or not. They had it up here, right?
Yeah, this is the copy that.
That's a copy,
yeah,
okay.
that
So
came out
they
here.
should have put the mid-states money down here
So how do we handle it?
in Rock. Okay,
I need to
But-
add it.
what is rock reimbursement?
Again, that's not my number for my rock. My rock fund's
Right, so
331.
maybe that, and that may be where the
And
problem
I
is.
went, and I went and checked my account that I had, and what you sent me this morning, it was in $200. And that this money here is not in that rock. So
It's not gonna be because they paid it into an income line.
that's
That's why I
and
was
that's-
asking if it was a reimbursement.
And so she needs to go, so that's when we talked about having a conversation, we said, any income that comes in, then comes before the commission and you, and we determine where it goes. Right now, it's just in rock reimbursement, and now it needs to be transferred to
the 330.
See, I need to know that. Because it's just gonna sit there. I don't know
And
that.
that's what I'm getting at, is I think some of this stuff is happening and not getting to the.
and that's where the conversation,
you guys probably all need to go through those numbers.
And I want you to come to me for transfers. I don't want everyone doing the transfer because it's gonna get screwed up.
right, so whenever money
He's
comes
still
in, whenever money comes
You didn't
in,
get out of here quick enough, Todd.
we have the conversation.
You come down here just because I went up to your office, is that
Rock
right?
Road.
Okay.
And
I'm
that's
talking to my office.
Agree? That okay with
I just-
you?
Anytime I've done this, I've always been, let you guys know that, hey, you got to check and these to the rock.
Right. So you initiate,
So
I
people
was-
just
I
pay
was
into the
kidding.
expensive.
So, I didn't say, so when it comes in, then when you write the check out, yeah, just make it expensive.
Yeah, they don't have to transfer.
That's right.
We'll fix you a new number.
Okay, you don't want to have to transfer.
Okay, there's what I usually do when I send it over to them, I say, this needs to go in dust control, this needs to go in rock.
Okay, but,
rock is too generic, right?
well,
It's not
and
how it can be.
Well,
is it also income or is it an expense? We can pay this back into the expense. I think that would solve the problem.
Exactly.
We'll just I'll give you the rock expense line item, and you're gonna pay it into an expense account. So when Lisa or
So
whoever
that's-
puts it in, they'll put it in that account, and I'll put it in the expense account on my side.
So that'll be different than my 331 rock account that I use all the time.
We are going to put it in,
Yeah.
but you're gonna use 105 percent for your one, because you're 4. Because your 4 is your income, we're gonna pay it back into your expense.
And I think in the account that I have set up here, it is 5.
So on this, you wanna make sure and change that. Right here, you do, right here. That's where they want to pay it back into.
And so really, and I don't know, didn't make a difference, but you maybe don't have to have this mid-states down here. You pay it into rock, but be sure it gets labeled.
Come see me and let's review.
Be sure it gets labeled that the money's come from mid-states.
This is what I.
It can go into the rock line
That's,
there.
that's not a question the past few years, because I'm not seeing these things getting back in to my rock.
And
And I'm
honestly,
adding them in.
I'm just getting to where I'm not saying so much worse than me.
So yeah, if you all get together and put your numbers together,
Yeah.
you'd
I
probably
think
be
I'll
fine.
bring that with you Thursday. Because if you just move it to an expense, I should.
Right. That makes sense.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and the, ask about the culvert tubes, B and 06. Those three, that also.
Yeah.
B and 06. Okay.
Okay. 106 down in southeast corner.
Also, question. I asked for Dan to come over and spray the garden like we do on the farm for dandelions and weeds over here in Brook Bridge. Leon would usually just ride the four-wheeler, or I would ride the, regarding handler, and I'm riding four-wheelers. Those have classes on training and motorcycles.
Are you freaking kidding
We
me?
cannot find a place that will do training. We call Yamaha or the Bach machines and all. Can't find anybody unless I go to the sheriff's department or something like that, do a training course for ATVs.
What type of training are you supposed to have? But, I mean, does it specify what type of training you're supposed to have other than just a training course?
Common sense.
Does it say by a certified trainer? Does it say by anything
You
like
have to
that?
have it
And has this always been in there?
No, it's just put in here this last year.
Yeah. They just put it in there. That was one of the things
Just
you
like
had
the
to
steel
have.
boots and all that.
That's one of the things you had to have.
For insurance?
And then if you Google ATV, side by side, it's going that too. So that means everybody out here at the lake's gonna have to wear helmets.
Yeah.
Oh. But to me, if these people that want us to do this, they ought to give us some suggestions on where to go get this training.
Did you call, okay,
And not call,
who's told you that you have to do this?
K-Camp.
Christie?
K-Camp.
K-Camp, okay, did you call K-Camp?
Okay, well, I'm just looking right here, and online ATV, UTV training, $79.99, OSHA aligned, instant access, printable certificates, for business, we offer company accounts and bulk discounts,
okay. Where do you have to go get it?
online,
You do it online?
online.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's just the first one that I pulled up, so they are out there. And it's OSHA approved, so on and so forth, so that, I think that should
I can get that.
satisfy what we need. ATVE course. There's that training course. ATVE course. State certification, and that one does not say OSHA certified or anything like that. ATV online training, ATV safety course, safety institute, that looks like the same thing.
It just says an ATV riding training course.
Okay, so, that first one that I mentioned, is the only one that I've seen that says OSHA approved. And that is a hard hat training. I'd say $79.99, bulk discounts, company, with company
Maybe
accounts.
it's hard hat training.
That's what the site is.
Okay.
But if it's OSHA line course, then I would think that that would be something that would be
Yeah.
approved by
It should.
K-Camp or whatever,
Should be.
I would think. So, and you can get on there, they've got different training options of what you might need, so on and so forth. Let's see.
If anyone wants to read it or not, or?
No. I'll send you this, I'll send you a link to this website, okay?
Okay, is it, are we gonna supply helmets?
Gonna have to.
You can buy the bump caps. They're just the,
It says the approved motorcycle helmet?
yeah, bump caps are approved.
Are they?
Yeah, DOT approved. They don't have to be the full face, they don't have to be they can be just
The
the,
styrofoam looking thing?
not styrofoam, they have to be DOT approved,
Okay.
but they are smaller, just a, bump cap.
Well, yeah, I saw that one on there, oh my God, that record spraying in 100-degree weather. We gotta wear long sleeves, trousers, boots, which we normally would anyway. Not a helmet.
All right, I just sent you the
Link,
link to it, so get on there and look and see what you think.
okay, I'll do.
All right, thank you.
Can I give you guys something to do?
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay, do you want Barba to drop the contract for 2026?
I sent him for 25, I sent him an email and said, just let us know what needs to happen. Send that to us so that we can make it happen for the 2025 year. And then for 26, we'll address that then. That,
So do you want anything in writing that just says you're going to continue for 2025 on a month-to-month basis?
let me see what his response is back. If he may say that, or he may say else, you know, in the modified. Well, I don't think we see you today.
I didn't think so either. Here I am,
But here you are.
just quickly.
What you got?
So, last year, there was a property that had a house on it, I think it was 10, 13 acres or something. And they split that parcel, they split the house off with a few acres and kept the other. It was a non-conforming split, sent them both a letter saying, okay, you're now non-conforming, you won't be able to get a building permit issued, that kind of thing. Didn't hear anything back from either one of the parties. Justin was doing an aerial check on EagleView and discovered a building had been built on the remainder of the land, which there's that, but then it's also in the floodplain,
Oh, my.
like smack dab in the middle of it. So,
They didn't get a state permit, I'm assuming, to build.
no, they didn't get, they would have to start in our office, get a floodplain elevation certificate and all that. None of that has been done. They didn't go through the state level. They didn't go through our level either. So that was just discovered at the end of last week, so.
So what's your, how you move forward with it?
It's non-conforming use, but they don't have a permit to build a building, right?
Right. They don't have that, which is one thing, but it's a bigger issue that it's in the floodplain.
So do you need to get the state involved then?
I will probably reach out and talk to Division of Water Resources and,
Well, check with them and see if they didn't get anything for sure.
yeah.
And then does Todd need to be involved and send a letter to them?
I'll just double check but I wanted you all to be aware.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking they got to move it.
Yeah.
This is the building that was built?
Yeah.
It was like a mortar building?
And it looks kind of like there's more activity than just farm.
Is it like a logging? That's what it looks like to me. I see the address.
It's down here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And the
some more-
floodplain is,
Oh my gosh.
the floodplain is all right through here. Now they've had elevation certificates and floodplain permits issued for the dwelling at one point.
Wow. That one for the building.
Yeah.
Does that say
Oh.
the location?
All right. Do what you need to do.
Um,
Oh, we also found a house on the outskirts of Mayetta that was built. They didn't get a building permit for that, so we called Mayetta to see if, and they didn't get a septic, so we called Morgan's Kansas on that as well. Called the city, and apparently they got their building permit through the city and are tying into their,
So they're gonna annex it?
yeah, so we haven't heard anything about
They
that.
haven't annexed it yet.
Wouldn't that happen before the
I
building?
Before the building
I
should
don't
be.
think so.
Yeah.
They don't have authority to issue a permit.
If it's not annexed?
No.
Do you know anybody from the city of Mayetta?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Boy, I'd be ripping that attorney's backside.
Well, the attorney may not have been there. It wasn't me, I don't know. But I do, I haven't sitting in the seat, I understand, but that, yeah, it's, I mean, it's within the 3-mile limit, but that's still not, the building permit is not really that. And I don't know if they'd be elected to be a 3-mile limit anyway, so, I mean, it probably would be, I'd probably hope that they would, if they were gonna annex it, they would do some now, just to clean it up. And it's probably no big deal if they do that, I don't know whether they want to hammer anybody.
I would think at least whoever issued the permit would have a letter of understanding, knowing that they didn't have that authority.
Well, that's a good question, but, yeah, I guess it's the issue being, are they gonna kind of retroactively clean it up by annexing them? And we kind of whistle past the graveyard a little bit. Or are we
Great.
strict guys who say, you know,
All I'm saying is, great, if they want to clean it up by annexing, great. But I think the city of Manhattan needs a letter from the county saying, you don't have the authority to do this, and in the future, if you continue to do this,
you know, what a problem.
we'll have a real problem with it. That's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's just figure out for sure where we're at in the process of all this, because I don't want to go farther than
I was told that we would be sent paperwork on that last week, and I have not received that yet.
Just keeping in the loop. on
Never will. So that's it. Fun.
Will you be upstairs a little while?
Possibly will be in a meeting.
Okay, I got some stuff to drop off to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
that. Did we get a bridge thing? We're still even, or still mulling that one over? or-
No, what, and who is Billy? Do you have any idea who Billy is?
So is there a road bridge supervisor, maybe? I don't know what they
Okay.
classify.
He called one of the our road and bridge people and told him, well, we're gonna be doing all this, bridge work out on G, and so they're getting there. And he told him you need to call Scott or, Matt.
Billy Price is his name.
Billy Price, okay. And Jay told him they need to call one of the, heads, not him. But so far Scott hasn't heard anything from him, and Matt's heard anything from him. But there again, it comes right back to what we were talking about this morning. They're apparently changing a bridge, and we have no clue. They did not say anything to us, they did not do anything, so.
Just to note that that's, looks like it's on this 83 resolution.
On what?
That road is in the 83 resolution.
It is, but
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, that's why, somewhere else it probably be.
Okay,
federal funds paying for it, I'm sure, so.
but
Well,
they
yeah.
still need to,
Yeah.
they still need to communicate with the county, with Road and Bridge, to be able to determine if, especially if they're taking the detour off of, either off or on the reservation, it doesn't make any difference, if the roads will be able to support it. Because the last time this happened last year, when we discovered that they didn't even call and tell anybody that they were detouring off the reservation, the roads they sent them down were not able to support traffic.
Well, one of the ways to view this is going to sidle up to it would be, me contact Darren and just say, you sent me this other one, but you didn't, talk about the T Road thing, and we didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, and I think in that conversation with him, it needs to be, the communication for this isn't through your office, it's from
Yeah.
their road and bridge to our public works director, and it requires authorization, not information. It's not an informational thing, it's authorization. Hey, are you good with the detour that we have proposed? Are you,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Not just don't take our signs down.
Okay. And basically, if you're replacing the bridge, may require us to make application for things for KDOT. and
We'll see that's where I'm going now,
We
we're right
need-
back to the same place that we were this morning
We
with
need
the other.
documentation that this has all been done. And you can use the one that we talked about today as an example.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. Well, maybe that was helpful.
Cool.
Now we're done.
now you can go.
You better run fast.
That's a K on, isn't it?
What's that?
Is that K on or not Kate?
It's K.
K.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to, that's to expense instead of income. You have to label it liability, you can put income or expense out of it. You can do it.
Good week, guys.
See you later, thank you.
I think you can turn it into liability. I don't think your system will take it as a, I don't think it will take an income received.
So if I put it in as a negative expense?
Well, I think you just need to label that as liability in here.
Do I need to get a fund for it?
No, but just turn that, the E on that thing into liability.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they'll take it as a, when you go to put it in. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it is. I think I'm right.
I think you're right. Or saving a 51 cents. I don't
Right.
understand.
Yeah.
So everyone read through the minutes? Okay, let me know when you're done. And then as I started to say, we do have 3 applications for Van Swermer's scholarship. That was all we had this year. Okay.
I'll hold.
And I'm going to guess that they all,
But is one of them from that Averson?
nope,
I have an email here. It says attached application for the Vance American Scholarship.
was that to you or, because I didn't see it in the commissioners?
Yeah. It says two commissioners, Jackson County, downtown. She has 2 attachments to it. On April 4th.
So was that the deadline?
What's that? It says Vance American Scholarship.
Commissioner. Did you get it? Can you print it?
I don't know if I can print it. Oh, you can't get it in the email?
No, it's not on there.
Well, see, mine says unverified. I don't know if it's, maybe you could send it to your,
Send it to myself.
yeah.
Here, I can forward it to you.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I've got it right
Oh,
here.
Mark has it, okay.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll just
Okay.
forward it to you.
Yeah, send it to me,
Okay.
please.
Because that one's printed out.
We still have enough to do.
That's printed out. Yeah.
We still have enough to do with our conversion of GS too.
We had a certain deadline for the being.
That's what I say, it was the 4th, wasn't it? 4th, okay.
Yeah, she's from
Yeah,
Barba.
she's wrong.
Right.
And who was it for?
Avery did.
I figured, I was surprised that she didn't, because her sisters both did.
Okay. So,
They
yeah.
knew about it.
You have an email out of it.
I don't have any more than that.
I mean, no, I haven't seen it on. I remember looking at her picture.
So we got 4.
Okay.
So, start looking at them. And then, like I said, I'm assuming that you've looked at them, they have all met the requirements that we laid out.
Well, not that last one, but I'm assuming she did.
Okay.
And who's Jackson Heights is the counselor out there? Or just sent to the council probably? Who?
Daniel,
Okay. Gotcha.
Tara said reminded me now.
Okay. And then you still make the checks out to the college and stuff, will you do? there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See anything unfolded here?
These are the applications.
Yeah.
Chad put on here.
He's on it.
I don't know, kid got that.
So we need a motion to,
So-
okay.
Excuse me. So do you have $2,000 in scholarship? Okay, because the last thing I had here did. But this is his 331. That's not like a
So
problem.
there's four candidates.
Well, unless I know something wrong with that, with the scholarship for me.
I said,
I've got
me.
1587 here.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
looked
chose
at the
too.
wrong one.
I don't
I
show
looked at the bottom one.
2,000.
You looked at
So
the meeting.
if we did.
So,
350, 75 each.
$396, so yeah, if we did $375 for each of them. That'd get all four.
Get
Four.
all
So,
They're $2,000 in there?
No, we've only got 1587.
no, but
I-
okay, but
I-
hold on. So this is as of 331, so you're gonna present the check in
May.
May? So, how much, if you could look and see how much interest comes, I mean, you might still be able to do it. Because this show, still, it's not making it. Guess there'd just be two more that's interested, won't make it to 2,000, yeah. Won't make it there.
We could do 375.
That's fine.
I think 375 or more would be good, and that way we will.
Yeah, they all get it that
Yep.
way.
So do we need a motion and do you want to name them or what?
Yeah, I'll put their names in the minutes.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to present scholarships to 4 of the Van Storinger applicants for a total of $375 each.
Okay, so, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. I move that we give Madeline Bontrager, Avery Stibben, Dylan Anderson and Cooper Wheeler, the advanced origin scholarships listed in the amount of $375 each.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to present $375 each in Van Swergen scholarships to the above named. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. And have we finished reading the minutes, the unapproved minutes of March 31st?
With the corrections to the name.
Wait a second.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of March 31st with corrections. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay, we have the meeting.
Gary, Dave.
Kate, Kate on there, it said Kate.
Hang on, I got them right.
I think there was another.
Kara already made one.
Yeah.
Gary.
Two she made.
All right. Let's see, so we have the meeting Wednesday night.
6:30.
On the calendar. There it is.
Should be about 19 people plus.
Yep, Wednesday night at 6:30 over Cross Hall with Deer Run.
Okay.
Okay, and that was with commissioners, Christie and
Stop the man.
Scott and Matt. Perfect. All right. Is there anything further to come before the board today?
So,
Linda?
You let Pat know to set the room up.
I'm more than happy to tell them why.
Okay.
Christie, you have anything for us? Anything more?
I think that was it.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. We adjourn this meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, all opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you very much. Good meeting.
This is just like you're back to Rob, I'll let you know what he wants to move forward with.
You want me to have a letter ready for you guys to sign this Monday, or do you want me to just type something out that says blah, blah, blah?
You can have something ready.
I mean, look at the old contract.
Yeah, what we did
I
last
should
time.
print that.